So everybody, Erik ten Hag is out of the Champions League, and we'll be dissecting what's going wrong with Manchester United now. And is Ten Hag potentially on the verge of being sacked? Now, I will do a separate video talking about Ten Hag's replacements and 3 replacements that have already been lined up. But this video is about Erik ten Hag and Manchester United and how we are at the UCL. So we're going to be breaking down the Bayern Munich game, talking about that and what was the biggest things that went wrong. I mean, that game was absolutely huge, and we know it was already tough going into that game. Now, upon reflection, if you look at the Champions League group and the way we played in there were some moments where there was utter confidence and potential for us to go through. I mean, look at all the games we played. We could have easily won all of them. I think the fact is that we were too open, and we've seen that in the Bayern Munich game first, in the Galatasaray game, and all the other games, except from this Bayern Munich game now. In the second Bayern Munich game at home, I thought it was much more compact. There was much more of a structure to us. That's something the commentators also picked up upon. And yeah, it was pretty poor, to be fair. I think we knew in the 70s, like we played a game to point to the 70th minute. We wouldn't think it was 0-0. And then we kind of realised that we had to go for it. So then we tried to go for it. And ultimately, we got carved open by a wonderful Bayern Munich goal. Now, what do you think about the goal? It was absolutely fantastic, to be fair. Great ball by Harry Kane and just a great composed finish. Now, people on the back of Onana, I think the fact that he does the little start and then dives again is a bit... If you're going to dive, just dive straight away. Don't wait. Just fully commit to everything, in my opinion. But yeah, out of the UCL, it's looking at Manchester United. It's been reported that they're having a £28 million, something to do with money, about £28 million, like loss or something like that, because they're out of the Champions League. Now, it just shows we know we're nowhere near enough. Look at the top teams in that Champions League. I mean, Bayern Munich is probably one of the favourites to win it. You got the likes of Man City and Real Madrid, all big teams that were really, really far off. Even the likes of Arsenal, we're miles off from them. And it just shows, again, the players talked about less talk, more action. I didn't see much action on the pitch yesterday. There wasn't that fight. It was missing that kind of spark. And I think I knew from early on that United were going to lose. Just by the way we went into the game, I think it was pretty poor, the way that we started. And I think that did affect the whole game for us. I think we just weren't confident. And that seemed to pay off. Well, that seemed to show throughout the game, to be fair to us. It was probably due to our own fact. I mean, some of the players just didn't work. I think Garnacho was pretty poor yesterday. I think Mazraoui knocked him off. Also, with the injuries we got now, it's looking really tough for this Liverpool game. Obviously, we'll build up to that sooner or later, probably tomorrow now, or Friday. But yeah, it was disastrous from us, in my personal opinion. I think the way that we managed the game, I expected a lot more from Erik ten Hag's men. Let's get that right. I think we could show a lot more. I think there's a lot more potential from the team now. Another few positives from the game. I think Varane was good in the game. I think the fact that he's coming after not playing many games, I think he was composed, controlled the back line, was physical, and Ten Hag talked about having experienced defenders in the game. Now, ultimately, we lost the game by 1-0, and it was always going to be a cagey game. I mean, there was moments where it was open on the counter-attack for both teams, but both teams couldn't really finish. And so, obviously, they scored the goal, but yeah, it's really difficult to take. I think Manchester United being out of the Champions League does massively affect us, because we need that Champions League spot, and we need to have quality in the game, because we know we have the quality, and just maybe being out of the Champions League might positively affect us. I mean, we're not getting money from it, but it may allow us to have more concentration on training and all that, and I know it's more concentration on the league, but we know we're not going to win the league, but just to focus on the game, get Ten Hag more patterns. He'll have obviously games midweek, but not as many as he used to being out of the Champions League. So that's a big thing in itself. We've seen with Mikel Arteta, many people say that he's not being in the Champions League helped Arsenal, because it allows them to focus on what they need to work on. And I can see that's a point. It's a huge point. The fact that, so on the Champions League week, you probably have one day off after a Saturday game. Then you probably have a Monday if it's a Tuesday game, or like 2-3 days training. So it's not really much time to work on pattern for the game. It is a quick turnaround. Recovery is quite short as well. So having that game taken away midweek allows Ten Hag to focus on more intense training sessions and to concentrate on how the team works. I mean, there is little bit of errors that we need to improve. And bearing in mind, we have got a massive injury load. You look at the players that are out. I mean, Luke Shaw and Maguire got out yesterday. It's looking like Maguire's out for 4 to 6 weeks with a groin injury. And Luke Shaw's out for 2-3 weeks with a hamstring. So another few injuries there, which doesn't help Manchester United. I think we have about 25 injuries. I saw it was. You look at the big players: Casemiro, Lisandro Martinez, huge players. Now Luke Shaw as well, Harry Maguire, who was doing really well this season. So a lot of players have gone out injured, which is really sad to see, because Maguire especially, I think he was getting into some great form. He was building on the performances like we want to see, and the fact that he's injured doesn't really help Manchester United, and it is quite difficult to see, because I think Maguire has been one of our best defenders, if not our best defender this season. I mean, you look at Varane and Martinez struggle to stay fit. I think he's done well now. Also, Lindelof's one, Martial, Rashford were not part of the Bayern game, may not be part of the Liverpool game. So there's a huge amount of injuries that Manchester United are dealing with, and that may have affected Erik ten Hag in a game like this. But I was happy with the team that I picked. I don't think he would have changed it anyway in terms of. But yeah, it's really difficult to see. And yeah, that's really the video. Erik ten Hag is out of the Champions League. A really shocking display. I think some players were pretty poor. Not going to get into it now because it's already over, but look at some of the mistakes. We've conceded the most goals in the Champions League group stage, I think, ever. And the standards that we are setting are nowhere near good enough. I see some players not even trying. The momentum that we're putting into games, the focus that we're putting into games. We say we want to win games, and then we're not showing anything to do it. So yeah, we must improve. I think Erik ten Hag is the man to take us forward, as I've said numerous of times. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. And let me know what videos you want to see coming up. I mean, we will be building up to that Liverpool game, of course. And then we've got some huge games: Villa, West Ham. Or the other way around, sorry. West Ham, Villa. I think it's Forest as well. So there's some huge games. Let me know what videos you want to see about them. If there's any topic videos you want to see, I will be doing one on Ten Hag, potential candidate. That Ten Hag replacement. I mean, I don't want Ten Hag to be sacked, but that is this option at the minute, because I think if he does get humbled or battered by Liverpool, I think it's looking increasingly likely that he will get sacked. But let me know what you guys think as always, and thanks for watching.